welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Long. With me, we have Jimmy Broussard, who is the new director of St. Mary Emergency Preparedness, OEP, Office of Emergency Preparedness, as well as Hurricane Preparedness.
Right.
How does that feel? Like you are the new director.
I'm still doing the same job, but it's just the title that changed, really.
Right, right.
Uh, it's just an upgrade, I guess. Me
Okay.
and David just reversed titles, and that's about it. He's still with us
Right.
and participating in all of the stuff we do.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what I wanted to ask you. You know, Mr. David Nakan is still with the OEP office.
yes, he's
Okay.
still with us doing the same job he's been doing. Yep.
Okay. Well, of course, anytime we meet up, we're talking hurricanes and hurricane season. Oh boy,
It's
June
here
1st,
again,
That's
yes.
right. Is when it will start, and it will last until November 30th. And hey, Mother Nature doesn't stop whenever she stops whenever she wants to stop. So it could definitely go
Correct.
past November 30th. But that is the typical season, June 1st to November 30th. What is the forecast for us in 2023?
Okay, the forecast is that the number of storms will be basically the same. It's 14, 7, and 2. 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 2 hurricanes.
Two major hurricanes.
Yeah.
I think the
So that's going to be the
forecast.
breakdown on that. And El Nino, La Nino, we're in a good system this
Okay.
year. The west is the jet streams will be further south, so that's going to detour and push the storms away, hopefully.
Good.
And hopefully that'll be a strong system and keep the bad ones away from us.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're already in spring, but this feels like summer already. So
I know.
That's kind of an indication as to what kind of hurricane season we'll have if it gets too hot too soon.
Oh yes, when
Yeah.
it gets warm, that's the energy for the hurricanes to start making.
Yeah.
It's the heat, the water temperatures, and all that.
But so far so good. We haven't had anything.
No, we've
we don't,
been
we're
lucky so
keeping
far.
our eyes on the Gulf and the Atlantic.
Yes, I'm telling you, they had a blob of weather system yesterday and the day before. That's where we got all the rain from, and that was it stayed there for a while. It just sat, but it went away eventually.
One of the things I'm not looking forward to is watching these spaghetti models. I don't even want to eat spaghetti whenever hurricane season comes, and our eyes are like,
Yeah.
okay, it could shift to the left, it could shift to the right.
Right.
We just never know, but it does come down to the last minute.
Oh,
Sometimes
yes.
we dodged a huge bullet when it came to Ida.
To Ida, we sure did. It was with miles, like under 50
Yes.
miles either way.
Yeah.
But it was we had our fingernails.
Oh yeah, definitely down to the nubs, but
That's
we
it.
definitely survived. Now, of course, our hearts go out to our sisters and our brothers to
Yes.
to the east of us, but we survived, and
Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about. We just have to just put ourselves in gear for recovery, because there were some people who had some issues, in St. Mary Parish. Wasn't as devastating as it was for people in Homa and Thibodeau.
Right.
But I know now I'm still hearing people are still recovering from
Oh, yes.
Ida.
In Homa and stuff, there's a lot of people that's still in temporary housing,
Yes, yeah.
and there's no housing that's there right now. So all they have is a trailer that they're staying in.
Or we've taken in some people here too. I think in
Yeah.
St. Mary Parish, we've welcomed a lot of individuals from that area who are
Right.
now residents who have decided just to go and take up residence in St. Mary Parish.
Yeah, some people lost everything. There's nowhere to go, and no structures left for them to move into. So
And that takes me to really where I'm going next with this, evacuation routes. I mean, let's get right to it, because there are individuals who just don't have reliable transportation, and we know that. And
Right.
there are individuals who have special needs. So evacuation routes are typically, as far as, let's say, evacuation pickups. Let's do that first for individuals
Okay.
who don't have transportation. So if you need transportation to get out of Dodge,
Right.
pickup is Morgan City Junior High
Morgan
School.
City Junior High and
and
Franklin
Franklin.
Senior High
Yes.
will be the pickup point locations. And we have classes set up for the administrations from Morgan City and Franklin to assist us in registering people and getting them on buses. We have an MOU in place with the St. Mary Parish School Board for bus transportation. and for assistance in getting the schools ready to receive people and put them on a bus.
Yeah.
We have MOUs in place for our place that we're going to be transferred to, the shelter itself
Yeah.
in central Louisiana.
Yep. And speaking of MOU, that's a memorandum of understanding, just for
Yes.
individuals like, what is that? So that just means you guys are working together to.
Yeah,
to
we
be
have
able
an
to-
agreement with the Red Cross,
Yeah.
the city, and all of that, school board.
All right. Well, that's one round. Come on back for the second round. We got a 1-2 punch coming up after the break. So join us right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I'm here with Jimmy Broussard, who is the director of St. Mary OEP Office of Emergency Preparedness, as well as Hurricane Preparedness. So
Right.
let's talk a little bit more about the shelters. Now, of course, they're group shelters,
Right.
and the location is central Louisiana. But of
Correct.
course, what about individuals who have special needs?
Well, special needs, it's going to be a different shelter, and they won't be at our pickup points. They'll be transferred to the special needs shelter directly, either by ambulance, if they're invalid or whatever, or family members could probably bring them. And usually we have a Acadian come by and pick them up and bring them to the special needs shelters. And that's in different locations throughout the state. When they open a shelter, they got to determine where the path of the hurricane is going to be and all of that. So they could have one designed to be open, ready to go, and it's in the path of the hurricane, so naturally we got to transfer them to another place.
Well, do you allow for family members, to accompany that individual who may have special needs? And when we say special needs, of course, we mean obviously if they're any type of disabilities or if they have a medical or developmental disability. Correct?
Yeah, and if there's
Okay.
special care that has to be done and all of
Right.
that, I'm sure that one family member that knows how to take care of them, knows their medication schedule and everything, they'll probably be able to attend to help care for the patient.
Preparation is key. I think you need these things that have to be ironed out before we get to
Oh,
a
yes.
hurricane. So, there's a new website that's coming, or a revamping of
Right.
the website that's already in place.
We're
And
updating it.
That way you can sign up if you need to register for special needs transportation
Correct.
or housing shelter. So I think do it now.
Yes.
The website is expected to be up soon.
Yes, hopefully the mid-June,
Okay.
hopefully that time frame. Yep, and we'll have that up and running. We also have a hurricane preparedness guide that gives a lot of information on exactly what's needed to be done.
Yeah.
And we have those available at our office, and I'm leaving some with you today.
Yes. Well, these are definitely very valuable. I was actually looking in here, and for me, as someone who loves a good number, a phone number on individuals, I love this particular page. It has the list of all of the OEP offices in the state.
Correct.
This is awesome. This is where if you're not able to get that information through us as your, especially when it comes down to where are the evacuations, what's closing, where to
Yes.
go, contact, and you're saying, oh, I want to maybe go up to, I don't know, for instance, why Concordia? Maybe that's because that's where my family's from. So
Okay.
let's just say you want to travel up to Concordia Parish, then you're able to call them and say, hey, are there any shelters? Are there any hotels available?
Right.
Contact. I'm telling you, these are valuable. Make sure you get one for your home. There's a lot of good information in here. What I do like as well, in addition to those phone numbers, there's an emergency supply checklist.
Yes.
Like I'm sitting here like, wow, okay, never saw that. Although it might need to be updated because they have CD MP3 player. Just use your phone now. But there is still a lot of good stuff in here: rain gear, sleeping bags.
Right.
A lot of times you don't think about those things, but just for top of mind, what are some important supplies?
Well, number one is for everybody, if you take medication, you need to get an ample supply of medication to bring with you, and bring your prescription bottles with you, not just the pills in a little tray.
Yes.
Bring the whole thing, because you don't want to leave your bulk of your medicine at home, and something happens to your house, you still got your medication with you. So
Yeah.
That's a life-saving measure there to bring that. You have to have cash, an extra set of clothing,
Yes.
a blanket at least, a pillow,
And all
some
your other
snacks
personal
and stuff like that.
hygiene, products as well.
Yes.
I'm all about that. So, please, ladies and gentlemen, Louisiana Emergency Preparedness book. It's a guide, and you definitely need this. A lot of good information. A lot of folks say, I don't just like to collect things, but this is a gold mine.
And we have this booklet on our website where you can click on it and go through the book.
Okay, awesome. Come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Long. With me, we have Jimmy Broussard, the director with St. Mary OEP evacuation routes.
Right.
Because this is a big to-do. I, for one, did contraflow, and I don't ever want to do that again. Although I was smart. I was able to veer off. Well, I was coming from Kenner, so I was able to veer off and was able to avoid the 18 hours that so many people had to deal with. But we have some trouble spots.
Few areas
Yeah.
right now. Three of them to mention to the public is the Berwick Bridge going over the Chafalaya River. That's going to be closed for construction. New Iberia has a 3-mile section when you get Jefferson Island Road, Jefferson Terrace Road, to Center Street. New Iberia is all one lane, both ways, one lane. So that's going to slow the traffic down tremendously. And if it backs up, DOTD and us have gotten together about an alternate route just to go around the construction site. That could be exit off of Jefferson Terrace, and you take a left turn right after that and go through neighborhoods to Center Street. Or you can go to Admiral Doyle and go to Center Street and get back on the highway by Lowe's. That's if something happens where the traffic is really backed up. But if it's flowing, stay on 90 and go on through it. A lot of people in St. Mary knows alternate routes to take. LA 182, they can go through New Iberia. They can take a back road and go over to Bro Bridge, or they can go straight and go into Broussard. And bringing up Broussard, by the zoo on Highway 90, they have another construction area, and it's barricaded so the lanes are narrow. They still have 2 lanes going both ways, but it is a construction area that's going to impede the flow of traffic again. So we have to leave early is the key. Even if you feel that everything's going to be good, but you think that storm's going to turn, and we don't know sometimes the exact paths. The routes we have to take are important. So leaving early is important.
Yeah. So, yeah, because you definitely don't want to get stuck. Like I mentioned before, some folks had just nightmare stories of being stuck in traffic. So with all those trouble spots that you mentioned, I would say just find another route to go.
And bring you a goodie bag, a bottle of water, drinks, or whatever while you're traveling. Because if you get stuck in traffic,
you're going to be just stuck there. Yeah.
So
one thing that we haven't had to meet about, and I'm kind of happy about this, we haven't had any high water concerns. I mean, typically we see high water around the springtime, and then of course right in the fall.
That's correct. Well, the North Mississippi area, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri, had high water flooding already this year, and they had to put up flood barriers and all of that. But the water has since gone down. We had a little hiccup a little bit, but it wasn't bad for us down here. And we don't expect any in the near future to have any flood concerns this year.
That's great. So we're doing pretty good. We're sitting in a pretty good spot with that. Nothing here on the Atchafalaya. I mean, would you say, why would you attribute that? Maybe because of just not much snow, rain during the winter season, nothing of that coming down?
Yeah, it's not coming down yet, but they still have, I don't know, below freezing weather way up north.
Really?
yes.
Even now.
The
Oh, I
West
could,
Coast is like a
ugh.
90-something degrees, and the East Coast, they have in the 30s,
We
it's
could
crazy.
give you some of this 90-degree weather we're
Yeah,
having in springtime, which we could definitely part ways with it for a little bit. Um, Something I don't ask about as much, classes and trainings. I mean, we talk all the time about hurricanes
right,
because really that's your office kind of just kind of known for that. But there are other
yeah,
things that the OEP office deals with. I mean, you thankfully, like I said,
right,
no train derailments,
yes. We don't want to go there.
no big major disasters. But let's talk about that when we get back from break. Talk
Okay,
about what are your trainings and courses and classes that you usually have to
right.
take, entail. So come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. We have Jimmy Broussard, who's the director of St. Mary OEP, Office of Emergency Preparedness. And most times we're often talking about hurricanes because,
Yes,
honestly, your department is kind of synonymous with hurricanes. However, you handle all type of disasters that happen or could happen,
right,
such as, unfortunately, we don't like to talk about this, but train derailments, or
right.
I think a couple of years ago, we did
Pipelines.
pipeline issues. I think in Morgan City some years ago, the blast of I don't know, electrical blast they had
The
here.
power plant went
Yep.
out,
So
yes.
yeah, so I mean, those are things that you definitely have to deal with. How often do you go into trainings and classes?
Well, we have, like the pipelines you mentioned, every year, the Pipeline Association for Louisiana, they invite firefighters, police, local agencies to come to a training, tabletop training exercise that they do every year. They meet with the local pipeline representatives from our areas, like the guy that works at the pipeline over here at any of the companies. They show up, they're a representative, and they tell us what type of product they have in their pipelines, where their pipelines are located, how to get in touch with their dispatcher or them to come and assist. Other areas, the fire departments have scheduled training that they do. They go to the LSU Fire Academy or whatever and train there. They have specialized training for train derailments, buildings, and then chemicals spills and things like that. And the police department, well, they get involved in assisting in rescue operations, traffic direction, and helping with controlling all that.
And you guys all kind of help each other. I mean, it's all
Yes.
kind of a coordinated effort to
That's right.
to
We all
really
work together.
Yeah.
We also have the boat crews from the sheriff's office, and I think Morgan City has a boat now.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
They get together and work on the water in same situations.
Okay. Now let's kind of go back to hurricanes because it is coming up, and I know there's lots of questions. I'm trying to get as many answered here, but there might be some organizations that may want you to come in and do something a little more in depth. Do you offer presentations?
Yes, either myself or David Duncan are available to go to your location and give a little presentation. We can put up a PowerPoint presentation, or we can just talk and give handouts
Yeah.
and things like that. So we're available, and just have to call Janet at our office and make a schedule.
I would say definitely do it before June 1st because once June 1st gets to going, I'm going to have my hands tied, probably contacting you
Yeah.
over and over. Hey, that's my job. I do that. I'm very good at that.
Right.
He's probably like, yeah, put Danico on block. But it's important
Yeah.
because we definitely want to keep everyone informed. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22, and we will definitely go live when necessary to give you up-to-date information. Speaking of just going live and having videos, you guys have a YouTube.
Yes,
Now.
we have a YouTube page that we have, and some of that on that YouTube is the presentation that we gave not too long ago. So you can look back if you don't want to go in person to a group to listen to us. You can look at it on the YouTube page.
Yeah. Now, you're also, if you have any questions, they can contact you. What's
Oh,
the number
yes.
to call?
They can call or email. Our information is on our Facebook page that we have. I'm sure everybody knows that one. Just go to the page and you can look us up and send us a text or a message.
Yeah. And speaking of some just websites, because there's a couple again that I'd like to make known for many of you, especially, look, this is the time to be prepared. And I was unfamiliar with, I think maybe one or two of them, if I can find them very quickly. Let's
Louisiana
see.
Emergency.
Yes, road closures too.
And
I
road
think you
closures.
can dial 511 on your phones. You can also go to
LA511.org.
That's it. Yep, you
And
are
that's a
on
good
the
page
money.
about road closures and things like that.
Yes. So also keep in mind gosep.la.gov. So
Yes.
that's definitely one that's good. Again, pick up the Louisiana Emergency Preparedness Guide. Lots of great information as I was just kind of going through some of it myself. Thank you very much for
Okay.
being here, Director of St. Mary OEP. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Okay. Bye.